Today I'm going to show you an action thriller film titled Ava. Be ready for spoilers ahead. The movie kicks off with a beautiful woman named Ava Faulkner, a recovering addict and former soldier turned assassin. She is a cold-blooded contract killer who works under the command of a secret organization. Ava has just arrived at the airport in France to pick up her next target, a British national named Peter Hamilton, from the airport, pretending to be his chauffeur. During the journey, Peter, unable to resist Ava's beauty, starts flirting with her. Ava, in turn, responds to Peter's advances by intentionally pulling over in the wilderness and climbing in the back seat with Hamilton. Before she kills him, she questions him about why someone wants him dead. Unbeknownst to her, another woman named Camille, the daughter of one of the organization's high-ranking members named Simon, had been following Ava through her entire absence and electronically eavesdropping on the conversation. It is later revealed that Peter had stolen funds from the IMF for money laundering and election tampering. Ava reports her kill to her handler, Duke, and informs him that she is going to Boston for a few days. Afterwards, Ava flies to Boston, where she visits her estranged sister Judy and her mother, Bobby, who is hospitalized for angina pain. Ava has not seen them in 8 years. Unknown to Ava, she is again being tailed by unknown people. It's now revealed that Ava was a straight A student, but when she had an accident, she lost her will to live and started using drugs and alcohol. She also served in the army, where she met her handler Duke. She got an honorable discharge from the army, however, she had difficulty adjusting to civilian life and finally joined Duke's private assassins company. Ava's handler and former army superior, Duke, sends her to Saudi Arabia to kill a German general. Duke had insisted that this is a sensitive operation and that the death had to look like from natural causes. General is suspected of selling arms on the black market, and since Western nation is involved, the whole operation has to be handled discreetly. She poses as the daughter of a friend of the general, successfully piquing his interest, and he invites her to his private room. However, instead of enjoying a lovely evening with Ava, the general suddenly feels his body stiffening. Ava has discreetly injected a substance that will cause the general to experience heart failure in the next couple of minutes. Suddenly, she is interrupted by the general's security guard since she had used the general's close friend's family name to get close to him, but the intel got the name wrong. Out of options, Ava is forced to kill the general by slitting his throat. The situation becomes chaotic as the gunfight ensues, leaving all the men dead. Ava successfully steals a tear gas canister attached to the officer's uniform, which she later uses when she reaches the lobby. Ava escapes the hotel, but her picture is captured by the security cameras, so she has to fight through the streets of Riyadh to get away. Ava showcases her combat skills in an epic fight against the military personnel who are trying to stop her. Ultimately, Ava escapes and travels to Barneville Carteret in Normandy, where Duke apologizes for the botched operation, insisting that the bad intel was a simple mistake. Duke reminds Ava not to ask her targets what they did and indicates that when she did this previously, it did not end well. Duke warns that they would not survive another episode of that and that he will not be able to protect her for some time. He gives her time off to decompress, and she returns to Boston, where she meets Michael, her ex-boyfriend, who is now in a relationship with her sister Judy. This creates an awkward situation in the hospital, and Ava chooses to distract herself by pretending to fix a TV rather than getting entangled in past memories that would only disturb her. Later, in the evening, Ava tells her AA group that 10 years ago, she was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and one day she caught her father having an affair and asked him to come clean to her mom. Instead, the father spun the tale and told her mom that he caught Ava stealing $1,000, and if she said anything, he would make up a story about her having an affair. Ava's mother believed her husband and not her daughter, which caused a conflict with her father that resulted in her running away from home. In British Columbia, Duke meets with his superior Simon and his daughter Camille. Simon believes Ava is a liability and that her questioning of targets demonstrates insufficient commitment to their operation. After Duke leaves, Simon reaffirms the hit on Ava. He also confirms to Camille that he made the intel mistake deliberately in Riyadh, so Ava had to be killed and Duke would never suspect him. And sure enough, in the evening, Ava, who was out jogging, began to grow suspicious of a man who had been following her from behind. When they reached a quiet place, the man attempted to attack Ava, leading to an unavoidable confrontation. However, the man wanted to dispatch Ava with his pistol but seemed bewildered when she swiftly disappeared. Suddenly, Ava delivered a surprise attack and killed her attacker by strangling him. The following morning, Ava confronts Duke, who insists that it was a random drug addict attack. He also convinces Ava that the company had nothing to do with the attack on her. However, Ava sensed that Duke was hiding something from her and eventually chose to leave Duke behind. That night, Ava goes to dinner with Judy and Michael, as recommended by Ava's mother, to reconcile and patch up their differences. But their conversation does not go well. Judy feels that Michael is still interested in Ava and is ignoring her. So she abruptly leaves the table when witty banter between Ava and Michael ensues. Michael and Ava are left to chat for a while until Michael leaves as well, still visibly upset at Ava for being gone the past 8 years with no contact. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Ava is startled awake by knocking at her hotel door. Judy meets Ava with an irritated expression and tells her Michael is missing. Realizing he has started gambling again, Ava rescues him from a gambling den run by an Asian woman named Tony, to whom Michael is indebted for 75 grand. Tony asked her henchmen to hold Michael and get rid of Ava, but of course, it wasn't difficult for Ava to defeat all of Tony's henchmen and threaten her directly. But before leaving with Michael, Ava asks Tony to give her 36 hours to clear Michael's debt, and Tony, seeing her guards injured on the floor, begrudgingly agrees. However, outside, Michael, driven by pride, rejected Ava's kind offer and chose to find his own way out. Switching back to Duke, who meets Simon again to voice his complaints. He discovers that Simon set him and Ava up to fail by purposefully giving them faulty information. This was meant to ensure Ava died in Saudi Arabia, but Simon ordered some extra hits on her after this failed. When Duke attempted to reason with Simon to call it off, citing that Ava is one of their best assets, Simon refused and sparks a brawl between them. Simon overpowers Duke fairly easily and bounds him to the edge of a lake to be drowned. Simon doesn't stop there, he records Duke's death so Ava can see it. Later that evening, Simon contacted Ava to inform her that he had eliminated Duke for continuously defending her. Hearing this, Ava was understandably furious. Her grudge deepened, especially when she saw Duke's condition in his final moments. Ava then entered revenge mode, but before that, Ava goes to Judy's house, where she invites Michael to run away with her, but he declines, revealing that Judy is pregnant. A heartbroken Ava heads to Tony's den, where she kills some of her men before giving Tony a bag of money to pay off Michael's debt. Ava starts to strangle Tony and is about to break her neck, but then changes her mind, letting her live while warning her to stay away from Michael. Ava then rested at the hotel where she was staying while drinking several bottles of alcohol until she was heavily drunk. But not long after, Simon suddenly appeared, sneaking in to locate Ava, leading to a close-range shootout between the two. The fight continued with a bloody brawl, with both of them injuring each other. Eventually, they both felt exhausted, followed by the sound of an emergency alarm. Simon leaves, warning Ava that he will kill her if he sees her again. Ava relentlessly pursues Simon, cornering and killing him under the bridge. Later, Ava goes to her sister's house, warning Judy to leave the country and giving her the number to a Swiss bank account filled with Ava's earnings. Before she leaves, Michael gives her a letter from Duke, who says that he is happy with how his life turned out. As Ava walks down the street, she is stalked by Simon's daughter Camille, leaving Ava's future uncertain. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.